Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. For this video, I'm going to be talking about whether or not you should request a student loan refund if you made student loan payments throughout the forbearance. Y'all are going to get real tired of these student loan videos, but they're going to keep on coming as things change, and there are just quite a few topics around it, as I said in my previous videos, and I think this one is a really important one, so hopefully if this applies to you, you are watching it. So first, a couple of basics here. Student loans have been in forbearance and at 0% interest for over 2 years now. So since March 2020, we have not had to make payments on our student loans, and there's no interest. There's no interest accruing. There's no interest in general on these student loans, federal student loans. Second thing, as of August 24th, Biden did announce that up to $20,000 can be canceled of student loan debt. Now, this is not 100% set in stone. So it's just a lot that's going on right now. So we definitely have to stay updated on everything. And this video in particular is really important if you paid down your student loan debt throughout the forbearance. So if you've made any payments on your student loans since March 2020, you can get a refund on those. Now, this is pretty major because there are some people who completely paid off their student loans. Like, let's say if you were to restart, if you were not to make any of these payments and you still had like $20,000 of student loan debt, and now you're realizing, oh, I received Pell Grants in college, I would qualify for this $20,000 of cancellation. Let me request a refund, get my whole $20,000 back, and then $20,000 will be canceled. This is going to apply to a lot of people, and your numbers may look different. So maybe you qualify for $10,000 of cancellation and you paid off $8,000 of debt and you want to get that $8,000 refunded so you could get that canceled. Or maybe you paid off $15,000 and you qualify for the $10,000. So again, you want the $15,000 refunded so you can get the $10,000 canceled. Many situations would fall under this bucket of people, but I think there are some important things to point out here. First question is, can you get your payments refunded that you've made since the forbearance began? Yes, you can. If you have made payments since March 2020, you can get those refunded no matter what. You need to call your loan service provider and just request a refund. As of right now, they are probably slammed with calls, so you may not get an answer. You may end up being on hold. It may take a couple of days, a few days for them to actually answer or return your call. I don't know the situation. I did not make any payments throughout the forbearance, but from what I've heard, the hold times are really long, or you just can't even get in contact with them yet. And that they are approving refunds, but they're saying that it could take weeks to months for you to get that money back to you. So how this would work is your money would come back to you, the payments that you made, you would be refunded, and then your student loan balance would increase by that amount that was refunded. So if you made $5,000 in payments, you get $5,000, but now you also owe $5,000 for your student loans. Second question is, should I request a refund, and should I do that now or should I wait? So kind of two questions in that. Now, this is something you're just gonna have to decide on your own, to be honest. So the thought process for many people here is that exactly what I said before. So, oh, I already paid down $10,000. I qualify for $10,000. Let me get my refund so that I get the $10,000 canceled, right? But that may not be the case. So I'm gonna read this here. I'm looking at my laptop and I don't want to say anything incorrectly, so these are Scott Buchanan's words. Scott Buchanan is the executive director of the Student Loan Servicing Alliance, and I can link to this article in the description box. But what he is saying is to wait. So again, it's up to you whether you want to wait or do this right now. But what he is saying is to wait until you request a refund, because we don't know which date this student loan debt relief plan is going to come from. This is what it says. This is what Scott Buchanan said. Generally, the Department of Education determines recipients of loan forgiveness, but that forgiveness is based on what your balance was on X date. Let's say they choose July 1st, 2022. They will say, the government will say, the Department of Education, servicer, tell me what their balance was on that date. So tell me what their balance was on July 1st, 2022. And that's how much forgiveness you are going to get. So this is really interesting because if they end up saying, we are going to forgive the balance of what you owed on August 24th, 2022, then many people who are currently requesting refunds or who want to take advantage of this will not benefit. Meaning you're just gonna get your refund and then this cancellation is gonna go through, but it's based off of what you owed on August 24th. And on August 24th, you didn't owe anything because you had already paid it off or whichever situation you're in. But then you're gonna get your refund and you'll have this cash, but you're still gonna owe the money and no cancellation would have applied to you. So we don't know exactly what's going to happen. So the worst case scenario here, if you do request a refund and you end up not qualifying for cancellation, is that you have this extra lump sum of money and then you can pay it back. What I'm afraid is going to happen is a lot of people are going to request for a refund, get that money back and think that they're going to qualify for cancellation and spend that money. So let's say they're like, oh, I paid off $20,000 over the last 2 years. So I want all $20,000 back because $20,000 of that is going to be canceled. And then they get $20,000 cash and go and book a vacation or put it towards something else, whatever they end up spending their money on. And then they realize, oh, I worked so hard to pay off this $20,000 and now nothing is happening. So if you do want to request a refund, I would say do it ASAP. Do it as soon as possible so that you can get that money refunded to you, hopefully before the cancellation occurs and that you would qualify. So let's say that your account would go back up to $10,000 and then it would go through and you would get the $10,000 canceled. Now, I'm not saying that that's what's gonna happen. We don't know. Like I said, it could depend on a certain date. They could be pulling the data from a certain date and you may not benefit at all. So the major thing here to focus on is keep that money. Do not touch that money, put it into a savings account. This is exactly part of the reason of why I've been saving my money throughout the forbearance, because there was the possibility of cancellation. I was not depending on it, but this whole time I've just been saving my money and gaining interest on it. So put your money in a high yield savings account. Do not touch it unless you absolutely need it. If you have an emergency come up, sure, go ahead and use it. If you have really high interest credit card debt or a car loan or something that you want to pay off and prioritize over your student loans, even if you are possibly risking that your student loans would now not be paid for, then sure, go ahead and use it for that. Just be really careful and make a plan, make a decision, and stick with that. If this was your final piece of debt, you don't have any emergencies, definitely just put it aside in savings. Don't request the refund if you don't want to risk that, but I think it's okay if you go ahead and just request the refund. Just keep in mind that it may take weeks, it may take months, and you still may not qualify for the cancellation. It's just something we will have to keep checking the news for, just like everything else with these student loans. Also, in the words of Scott Buchanan, he said, if you need that cash because of expenses or because you lost your job, then absolutely request it. But if you're coming at it and saying, I want to get more loan forgiveness, I'm not sure that's the right strategy until we get more guidance. So yeah, this video is not me telling you what to do. Those are the risks, the pros, the cons of what this could mean for you. But I just want to reiterate that if you are in an okay position, if you are in an okay financial situation and you want to potentially get this money refunded so that you benefit from the cancellation, hold on to that money. I am going to stay on top of this, just like with everything else with the student loans. Anything that changes or any major updates with this, I will post a video here on Debt Over It Personal Finance with Layla. So be sure to subscribe. Comment down below if you were able to get your money refunded or what you're thinking about doing. Please share how that call went for you or how the process has gone for you and what your loan provider has said, because I think it will help a lot of people to see what to do and how it's happening. Please let me know if you have any specific questions or if there's anything I can help with. Thank you so much for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video.